In the last episode of The Duke Can Only Taste His Slaves Cooking part, we saw how the Duke misunderstood Lana and wanted to torture her for more information, but after seeing her in that condition, he broke and quickly exited the chamber without doing anything. She wanted to clear up the misunderstanding about what had happened in the market, so she began explaining it all to the butler. Meanwhile, Legion's doctor informs him that he cannot be cursed twice simultaneously and explains that his racing heart is not a medical ailment, but rather a common occurrence in young individuals. The doctor speaks cryptically, avoiding any mention of love, and the Duke fails to grasp the meaning. However, the doctor expresses his desire to meet the witch in person, while Legion had actually been planning to do so. Subsequently, the doctor departs. Then Kane arrives and conveys what he has learned from Lana. She had intercepted the Duke in the market, fearing that their day would be marred by some misfortune. However, instead of being reassured, the Duke became even more agitated and confined her to her room. Legion feels uncomfortable at first, but then he blushes as he inquires of his butler if Lana requires anything in addition to more food. Kane is taken aback, and shortly thereafter, Lana's prison room is entirely furnished with a hearty meal laid out before her. A maid offers to fetch her anything else she might desire, but Lana already has everything she needs. The maid expresses confusion about why Lana is being treated so kindly. However, this was precisely what the Duke had ordered. Lana is bewildered, but decides to concentrate on her meal first. When she finishes eating, she is suddenly overwhelmed by fear, contemplating that it could have been her final meal. Overcome with despair, she begins to sob. Her last wish is to see her saucepans again, as she had planned to use them to prepare Korean cuisine for the Duke. She believes that if she is going to die, she can write a will and leave the pots to Wade. Despite her weakness, Lana continues to receive good food and care, which is the only instruction the maid has ever received. Now, Lana is perplexed by what Legion might be thinking. He gets himself checked by the doctor, who reassures him that he is in good health before departing. Immediately, Legion's thoughts turn to how witches have taken everything from him, fueling his resentment toward them. However, he cannot recall a single thing Lana has taken from him. Instead, she seems to have bestowed upon him the gift of taste. He ponders whether she might truly be a witch. Meanwhile, the impostor doctor has reached Lana's prison cell, and she questions his identity. Initially perplexed by the well-furnished cell, he employs magic to reveal his true self. Lana is shocked to see the silver-haired man from earlier. He declares that he has come to rescue her. Legion rushes to the dungeons and finds Lana with the hooded man. His expression reveals hurt as he tells her that he will forgive her for staying, and may even reward her for luring another witch here. Before he can say anything more, the witch hurls a bottle at him. As the Duke slices it open, a purple haze is released. Legion claims that poison does not affect him, but he collapses nonetheless. The silver-haired man clarifies that it was not poison but magic. He expresses his intent to take Lana away, but she is concerned about the Duke. He counters the effects of the sleeping magic by biting his finger, leaving Lana puzzled as she deliberates whether she can trust the man offering to rescue her, or if she should escape on her own. However, more than anything, she wants to stay because she knows that Legion will suffer without her. Then, it dawns on her that by following this man, she can gain insights into witches and the Duke's curse, possibly even helping him. Lana informs him that she will definitely return, and asks him not to be too distressed, but he falls asleep. The witch desires to kill him, but Lana intervenes, insisting that they need to hurry. Soldiers approach, prompting the witch to decide to spare the Duke. He teleports them away, and they find themselves in a forested area. The man introduces himself as Gerard, the Witch of Potions. He then leads Lana to a magnificent house, much larger and more beautiful on the inside than it appears from the outside. Gerard elucidates to the bewildered Lana that the Witch of Space assisted him in creating this remarkable abode. Gerard inquires if Lana is curious about what kind of witch her mother was, but Lana is more intrigued by the witch who cursed Legion. When he questions her about her compassionate feelings toward the Duke, she explains that she pities him because he cannot enjoy delicious food, and it wasn't even his fault that he was cursed. Gerard has only one response to her inquiries. He hands Lana her mother's diary and reveals that it was her mother who cursed the Duke's ancestors. Lana is shocked and asserts that her mother couldn't have even been born when the curse was originally cast generations ago. Gerard responds by explaining that witches have much longer lifespans than ordinary people and age at a slower rate. Now, she is horrified to think that Legion was not entirely unjustified in wanting to capture and interrogate her. She implores Gerard to find out if he knows how to break the curse. Gerard shamelessly smiles as he informs her that only the one who cast the curse can remove it. Lana is utterly shocked, trying to fathom what she will tell Legion when she returns to him. Gerard advises her to read the diary, suggesting that she might find some clues there. He also mentions that he couldn't read it because her mother's magic prevented anyone but her descendants from doing so. Lana completes reading the diary overnight and confronts Gerard in the morning, accusing him of tricking her because the diary contained only information about food. Gerard chuckles and suggests that she must have enjoyed it, then reveals that her mother was similar to her in her passion. He adds that Elna was the witch of gastronomy as he hands Lana the second diary. The second diary recounts how Elna journeyed to the north to experiment with recipes and encountered a boy who had baked barely edible bread. The boy told her about a new lord who was soon to arrive in the city, and his parents were concerned that he would raise taxes to alleviate their burden. The boy's desire was to cook something delicious to offer to the lord, even though he had failed in his attempts thus far. Despite his failures, he was determined to do everything he could to help his parents, a sincerity that deeply moved Elna. The lord insulted the boy and his bread, and when the boy's parents asked for an apology, Elna stepped forward. She informed the noble that if he could discern that the bread was terrible without even tasting it, he clearly didn't require the sense of taste. In response, she cursed him and his family, ensuring that they would never derive pleasure from their food again. And that's how it all began. Lana feels disheartened upon learning that her mother had indeed cursed the Duke's ancestors. However, Gerard shifts the focus to the upcoming Night of the Witches, which is set to occur in 3 days. He asks Lana if she wishes to participate in it or not. Meanwhile, back at Legion's residence, he has finally awakened, and contrary to Gerard's promise, he does not appear refreshed. Legion had a dream about Lana in which he relived some of their memories, but in the dream, she revealed herself as a witch and betrayed him. She also disclosed the story of how his mother was coerced into marrying his father. In his dream, Lana went on to reveal that after his father's death, she had stolen every last bit of wealth and fled. The emperor then appeared in his nightmare, expressing regret that he hadn't handed the witch over to him earlier, so he could torture and execute her. This inner turmoil and the emperor's demands had disrupted his sleep and peace. However, Kane eventually arrived with the final version of Lana's wanted posters. In response, Legion ordered him to place the maximum bounty on her head. Kane conveyed this information to Wade, who was still tending to the fermentation jars Lana had left behind. Wade grew concerned about the Duke's health. Wade is aware that the Duke's health has been deteriorating since Lana's departure, and is determined to take action to address it. On the other hand, Gerard explains that the Night of Witches is a coming-of-age ceremony, during which young witches are granted their powers and a title. He believes that Lana can inherit Elna's title and access all of her recipes. However, the event is only 3 days away, with the next one occurring 5 years later. Lana begins to panic, feeling that she doesn't have much time to make up her mind. She is torn, unable to decide on anything within the short span of 3 days. She also wonders if she will be able to cook even more delicious food after becoming a witch, and how the Duke will react to it. She longs to return to his mansion. Lana yearns to return to the mansion where she has friends and people who genuinely care about her. She longs to cook delicious food for them and worries if Legion will even accept her if she becomes a real witch in the city. In the city square, the Duke has posted wanted posters for Lana, leaving people curious about what the girl could have done to warrant such a substantial reward. To add to the intrigue, she must be captured alive. Kane arrives at the scene and discreetly places another notice next to it, bearing the logo of the Duke's family at the bottom. In Gerard's home, becoming a witch seems like a significant undertaking, adding to Lana's stress. She contemplates the idea that she will have to relinquish many things due to the extended lifespan, that comes with being a witch. Lana is apprehensive about gaining magic powers, and her greatest fear is that she might end up despising Legion. However, Gerard calls her down, reminding her that they must leave if they want to attend the ceremony. Lana decides to ask him why he is so insistent on her becoming a witch. Gerard reveals that he was the only male witch in the world, as the sons of witches often lacked sufficient magic to survive, let alone become wizards.
That is all for this episode, folks. I hope that you enjoyed this manhwa till now, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for daily manhwa content for free. The next episode of this series will be released if this video hits 1,000 views, or have at least 5 comments asking for the next part. Thank you for watching Manhwa Quest.